Vermont was the 14th state to be admitted to the Union on March 4, 1971. 279 days after Rhode Island, the 13th state, joined the Union on May 29, 1790. Vermont is the second least populated state in the nation with a mere 620,000 inhabitants. This places the state directly ahead of the least populated state, Wyoming, with approximately 40,000 more inhabitants, and directly behind Alaska with 120,000 less inhabitants. Vermont has an area of 9,616 square miles, making it larger than 5 states. It borders the Canadian province of Quebec in the north, New Hampshire in the east, Massachusetts in the south, and New York in the west. Its location places it in the Eastern Time Zone. The highest point in Vermont is the peak of Mount Mansfield, at 4,395 feet above sea level. This peak is located in the Green Mountains, a range running for an approximate 250 miles from the state's border with Massachusetts to the Quebec border. The lowest point in Vermont is Lake Champlain at 95 feet above sea level. The largest city in Vermont population-wise is Burlington, with an approximate population of 42,000 in the city proper and 220,000 in the metropolitan area. Within the Burlington metro area is the second largest city, South Burlington, with 19,000 inhabitants. The state capital, Montpelier, is the sixth largest city in the state, with an approximate 7,500 inhabitants. This city became the capital of the state in 1805. Montpelier is located within Washington County, one of the 14 counties in Vermont. The most populous of these is Chittenden County, with around 160,000 inhabitants, containing both Burlington and South Burlington. The least populated county in Vermont, Essex County, is located in the northwest along the Quebec and New Hampshire borders, and has an approximate population of 6,000. The modern flag of Vermont was adopted on June 1, 1923, and, unlike most states in the Union, has changed greatly throughout its history. The first flag used by Vermont is known as the Green Mountain Boys flag, originally serving as the regiment flag of the Green Mountain Boys militia, consisting of a blue canton with misaligned stars on a field of green. From 1777 to 1791, when Vermont joined the Union, this flag served as the flag for the Republic of Vermont, a republic independent of both the British and New York, who had claimed the area as their own. The Republic would become a state of the United States in 1791, sticking with the same flag until 1804. The state adopted its second flag on May 1st of 1804, appearing similar to the American flag with Vermont written on the top stripe. This flag, however, has 17 stripes and 17 stars, as opposed to the 13 and 50 we have today. This was because the original intent was to add both a star and a stripe to the flag with every new state, meaning in the modern day, the US flag would have 50 stars and 50 stripes. This design naturally looks worse and worse as more states are added, so the stripes remain at 13 and the stars continue counting. This would be rectified when the third flag of Vermont, adopted on October 20th of 1837, would have 13 stripes and a single large star containing the coat of arms. The modern flag was adopted in 1923, consisting of the coat of arms on a field of blue. The pine branches on either side of the shield represent the branches worn by soldiers at the Battle of Pittsburgh in the War of 1812. The tree in the center symbolizes the vast forests of Vermont, while the cow and wheat represent the dairy and agricultural industries prevalent in Vermont. The deer head above the shield represents the wildlife of the state. Finally, both Vermont and the state motto of freedom and unity are displayed under the shield. The first European to explore Vermont was Frenchman Samuel de Champlain in 1609, claiming the area around Lake Champlain for France and coining the name Green Mountains. The French translation of this is also the root of the name Vermont. The first settlement in the state, Fort St. Anne, would be established by the French in 1666, expanding the French influence and furthering their claims over the Vermont area. Several other early settlements would be established by both the French and the English. However, the first permanent European settlement in Vermont was established in 1724 by the English, in the form of Fort Drummer. Following the end of the French and Indian War, the Treaty of Paris was signed in 1793, ending New France's control of Vermont and opening the area up to settlement from elsewhere, most notably New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. This would lead the province of Massachusetts Bay Colony to claim Vermont. pointing to the 1629 charter of the Massachusetts Bay Colony for legitimacy. The New York province would also lay claim to the region, citing the grant given to the Duke of York in 1664. New Hampshire was also able to justify a claim in the area, based on an order by King George II issued in 1740. Between 1749 and 1764, over 100 land grants would be issued by the governor of New Hampshire, Benning Wentworth, which are now known as the New Hampshire Grants. Shortly after this, King George III would establish a boundary separating New Hampshire and New York's claims, delegitimizing New Hampshire's claims and officially giving Vermont to New York. This upset many inhabitants of Vermont, leading to the creation of the Green Mountain Boys in 1775, under the leadership of Colonel Ethan Allen. This group was relatively small, having less than 100 members, but played an important role in the American Revolution and, more particularly, the formation of the Republic of Vermont. Originally, the new nation's name was New Connecticut. However, Vermont, a translation of Green Mountain, was later adopted. The Republic would hold a convention in Windsor, where 72 delegates met to adopt the new Constitution. This Constitution was not only the first written Constitution to be created in North America, but also the first to prohibit slavery, although this was not strongly enforced, and grant all men the right to vote, regardless of property ownership. The Republic minted its own coins and operated an independent postal service, however would cease to exist in 1791, when the Republic was admitted to the Union, the first state to join after the original 13. The only major battle to involve Vermont during the American Revolution occurred outside the state's borders in New York. Despite its namesake of Bennington, Vermont, the Battle of Bennington occurred about 10 miles outside of Bennington. General John Stark would lead his American troops to victory against the British here, leading to the creation of Bennington Battle Day, a Vermont-specific holiday observed annually on August 16th. Following the Union's independence, Vermont was admitted in 1791 as the 14th state. More than 30,000 Vermonters would serve in the Civil War, around 5,000 of which would die. Following the Civil War, Vermont's economy would be primarily agricultural and dairy-based, both of which continue to be prevalent today. The state would put an increased effort in being environmentally friendly around this time, with 90% of the state's energy being supplied by hydropower by 1940. Vermont continues to be an integral member of the Union, and played a crucial role in the formation of our nation in the first place. This is Morothy. Thanks for watching.